Hey, what's going on everyone? Adam Schwarz here, top real estate agent. On today's video, I'm gonna break down what's going on in the housing market in Riverside and what are the things we need to look forward to kind of know the direction we're going based on what has happened in the last few years. So it's kind of crazy. We've gone through the last 15 years from the last crash to now. We've seen some crazy markets. Obviously, we saw the massive crash in 2008 and that whole REO market, which who knows, we'll never probably see that again. And then we saw rates go down to almost nothing during COVID, and we saw the housing market explode. And now we're at this inflation with high interest rates that no one, that's my age, 36, has ever seen before. And so we need to take a look at what's going on in the Riverside market. So in September of 2002, that's when we saw rates break the 6% barrier. And we haven't seen rates go down since then. We've seen them go up and down, some 8, back to 7, but we've seen rates continue to go up. So we had rates hit 6%. The median home price at that time was $550, and then we saw home prices go up, and then we saw them go down, and they bottomed out right around $565 in December, and the active listings were $677. So anytime we see rates kind of peak up, remember, in real estate, everything is really 60 to 90 days behind. Why is that? Well, the houses that are currently in escrow, they have the lower rate. And so when rates go up, say the rates go up to 9% tomorrow, everyone who's currently in escrow right now have lower rates. Those houses then close, the data then comes out. So we really need to know if when the moment we see rates peak, a few months later, we're gonna see prices go down. So we saw active listings stay at 677. The next thing we saw was in October of 2023, we saw rates peak out. The highest we've seen is at 8%. They've gone down since then and they've gone up, and now we're roughly sitting around 7%, but October was the peak at 8%. Median home price was $627. So even though rates have continued to go up, we've seen the median home price in Riverside continue to go up with it. In January 2024, we saw prices drop down to $615. So you see what I'm saying? The moment rates peak, a few months later, we see a drop off in home. And then we saw active listings at that point in time, 431 per month. Then we have currently what's right now. So June 2024, rates are at 7%. We kind of been hanging around 7% since February is kind of where we've seen them. The median home price right now in Riverside is $660 and the active listings are $445. And so now that we've kind of seen rates level off at 7%, I don't see us having that bottom out like we've seen the last few times, because when rates were going to 6%, we saw a big increase, and then when rates were hitting 8%, we saw a big increase, and then we saw a drop off. Now we've kind of leveled out at 7%, so I'm not expecting a big drop off like we saw the last two times. And it definitely helps that we're moving into summertime and we're not going into the winter seasons like we did on that last January. But the big thing you've noticed is that the active listings is what's really gonna help us out. Like right now, we only have 445 active listings. And so what we have seen the last few years is there's kind of a sticker shop when it comes to rates. And then after people kind of get used to them, they go and buy homes. But I feel like if we would have seen 8% rates with 600 listings or more, then we would definitely see home prices go down. So we need to know that rates have not controlled prices and go down, but active listings will be the main factor when it comes to what pricing does. And so if you think about this, rates have gone from 6 to 8% in the last 2 years. Active listings went from 677 down to 445, and we've seen prices go from 579 to 660. And so we really not need to keep an eye on rates. We really need to keep an eye on inventory. Hopefully rates have kind of flattened out. I think that's something else we need to see, is that a lot of people weren't purchasing because they thought the market was gonna crash, and as time goes on and prices continue to go up because of low inventory, I think that kind of theory is off the map. I was actually at an event last weekend, and it's crazy how narratives are what really move the market. So you'll see things like online, like the market's crashing, and maybe some areas like Austin and Florida and things like that had a huge influx of people that went into it. Maybe those prices are going down, and the reason why those prices are going down is because they saw this influx of people coming in and they didn't have enough housing, so then builders try to rush to build. And what people don't understand is that it takes 18 to 24 months to get a project going into build. We know because we build them. And so now they have a massive amount of inventory and rates are peaking. People are not moving there as much. And so now the buyer pool has moved out. So based on my experience, what I'm seeing right now in Riverside is we just put a house on the market at $650. We had 30 showings in 5 5 days, and we put an escrow at $685. So are there buyers out there? Yes. But do buyers want to overpay for things? No. And the higher you get the price, the more people demand better product for that price per month. And that's like with anything, is that if I buy a brand new BMW and I'm spending $100,000, I want that car to be perfect. But if I go buy a Honda Civic and I paid $20,000 for that car, if there's some things wrong with it, I kind of in my mind know, well, I'm paying 20 grand for a car, not a $100,000 car. So as prices continue to go up and as mortgage payments continue to go up, the expectation that buyers want for that property are just gonna get higher and higher and higher. And what does that mean for you as a seller? That means you're gonna have to do things to get ready to put your house on the market. Maybe painting, maybe cleaning the yard, maybe things like that. If you don't do those things to go on the market, your house is gonna probably sit and it's gonna sell for less. Because it's obvious there's buyers in the market, they're just expecting more for what they're paying for. So hope this video has helped. If you have any questions, still comment below, and until next time, peace.